Hello and welcome back to AG Engineering. This episode is one of probably a few episodes that will be spread throughout the coming months, probably even years at the rate I work. Regarding this, it's a Clarkson tool and cutter grinder. It's a machine I acquired probably about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, something like that. And it's a sort of work in progress as it stands. As it originally came, it was a three-phase machine. I've fitted it with a single phase motor and a control box at the back here to work the original magnetic switches. So come over this side, everything at the moment it runs, and it is in a form usable, but it lacks some of the accessories that go with the machine originally. There's I think it's called a universal tool holder or something along those lines, the name escapes me, that's with it, that I've got to make a bushing for to take. I want it to take an ER collet holder. That's for sort of end mill sharpening and drill bit sharpening and things and various stuff I've not yet learned. There are supposed to be another couple of holders that make sort of sliding some guide rods here that I'm missing, and some brackets that are supposed to sit on this T-slot and hold milling cutters between centres to sharpen the flutes, sharpen on the side cutting edges, if you like. So I've seen them on eBay and other places, and to be honest, for what I paid for this, the accessories are as much again. So I'm going to set about and make some of my own. I made a start a little while back on some of the brackets, and I want to pick that up today and carry on with a little bit of work on one of the brackets. Later on in the series on this, as I say, it'll be spread about throughout the videos anyway, so you might have to search for them, it won't be in one hit. I'll likely go through the control side as well, wiring a contactor as a magnetic switch, e-stop, start button, etc. And I'll probably even do like low voltage control circuits, but that's in the future. What I'll do at this stage, I've got some of the other bits set up at the moment in the workshop, and I've got to do a little bit of faceplate work on the Colchester lathe to finish off one of the brackets. So we'll reconvene in the workshop in a few moments. I'll see you there. Hello, welcome back. We're in the workshop again. The Clarkson tool and cutter grinder I was talking about a few moments ago in the garage. As I say, I've got to make some accessories, so I made a start on a couple in particular, and I'll attempt to get one finished off at a time. Now, a good source I've found of information on the Clarkson tool and cutter grinder is a guy called, let's get the information, Stephen Vine, and he's over at bedroom-workshop.com. I'll put a link in the description to this. He's got a very interesting website, a lot of info on there on other machinery as well as the Clarkson tool and cutter grinder, but he seems to be an avid fan of these tool and cutter grinders. So the drawings I've got, again from his site, give a wealth of information. This is a print of one of them. You can see that. Yeah, and that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm not copying it faithfully. There's no real need, but it gives a good indication of the general direction I need to be heading in. I've already made, made a start on it. I've got my my slotted, sort of slotted bar there. I've not fully radiused it. Again, it's only aesthetics. The main features are right, and on it there's if we can see on that parametric model there's a raised spigot that's part of this assembly. Originally it would have been a casting or a forging of some description, so this is a built-up weldment, a fabrication if you like, and it's a good way of getting round to making it. This was made from bits essentially I've sort of got lying around at the time, and I've already welded that section onto the other section there. So I've got to put effectively a semicircle cutout into this to take that steel boss around halfway there, halfway through the centre of it. So I've got to mount this up somehow to be able to turn that out, and the way I'm going to approach it is with a little bit of faceplate work, which is not something I've done on any of the videos so far, and is these days a little bit of an old-fashioned way of doing things, especially with milling machines, etc. I could put this in the mill and do it with the boring head. That's another way of doing it, but I'll try and throw a bit of variety in and do it on the faceplate. It'll mount quite nicely. The slot width's the same, so it's simply bolt it on and adjust it to my centre point, and then we can start turning this semicircle out. So we'll set that up in a moment. On the subject of the tool and cutter grinder, information again from Stephen Vine at bedroomworkshop.com. He's got PDFs of most of the versions of the tool and cutter grinders, Mark 1s, Mark 2s, different Mark 3s, different makers that were the same thing but badged differently, etc. And there's an absolute goldmine of information in there on these machines if you need to find it, all the accessories, what it's capable of doing, how to set it up, how to use all the attachments and that, and very good download of the original Clarkson manual. Also on the site there's Model Engineers Workshop a while back did a feature on these. A guy called Mike Horton describes buying, renovating and learning to use a Clarkson Mark II tool and cutter grinder. That's a later model of mine with the looks like a steel cabinet and a bit of storage below there, but the top part is essentially the same. But they added sort of better guarding and dust extraction as things got a little bit more serious on health and safety. But his article again goes through a lot of information on these and shows you the work that he did to sort one out and get one operational, and then later on how to use one, how to sharpen twist drills and end mills and various other things on there. So yeah, end mill sharpening, very good article to look up. As I say, that's out there on the internet as well, and obviously available from Model Engineers Workshop on the back issues, I would presume. I used to take Model Engineers Workshop many years ago, not one I've had recently, but it was a very good magazine. So that's the manual, as I say, off bedroomworkshop.com. I'll get set up on the lathe behind me there, and I'll be back again in a moment to see what we can do with this, boring this semicircle out. Okay, catch up with you in a minute. Okay, I've got the piece set on the faceplate. I've put a small centre mark halfway between the two there, and I've got the bolts just slightly snugged up. I've got this piece on the centre line of the centre there. So now with a little tap that way, just again by eye, I should a little bit more. Very slightly. So that should put me as close to the centre as I need to be. We can nip those bolts up again. Quite get in like that. From that side, not the camera. Into neutral, and as I spin that around, my mark and my edge should be in the same place. Just slightly tap that way. That's it. I'm now centred. Just recheck. Put it that way. That's it. I'm centred to as close as I need to be for what I'm doing here. It's only machining it out ready for welding. So I'll snug them bolts up again, and I'll set some tooling up. Just a slightly different view there, just showing we're just clearing down here. I just needed to check that was okay. I've got probably about 1/4 inch clearance on that point there, so just enough room to swing that that size piece on the faceplate there. If it had have hit, I can always remove the gap block if need be, but we're fine there. I'm set up. I've done a little light skim just there. I'm back on at the centre point. Just carefully trialled it. I'm just going to zero the digital readout at that point. Then as I move across, I'll get a direct reading for my my dimension. I know once I'm obviously at this edge, that's where I need to be. You can see that on the camera, just about. So I'll start her up again, and I'm not going too fast with this. Not the greatest setup, and obviously I'm doing an interrupted cut with carbide, which isn't unless you've got the right type of tool, and isn't too recommended either. So we'll fly by the seat of our pants, so to speak. So I'll fire up and take a little bit more off. That's where I'm up to so far. I've got a mil and a half, couple of mil to go. Made quite a nice shape that. I'll carry on as I was. It's working, very steady. But, getting there, then I'll go to the full diameter, then just clean up that edge a little bit. So it just broke through the back there, so a little semicircle, get him off. Right. So now I'll go to the full size on it. Just get my get my piece to go in. Quite. $33.9. So we'll just change the display to diameter 32.5 I'm at. So now I should better do a full plunge cut. Tilt that down a little bit. Of course, doing this by hand and feeding is fine for this. Really only preparation for welding.
see where we are. A little tiny bit more to go. I'm at 33.6 there, so 33.9. Put a little bit of power feed on for the last skim. Okay. Two and a half hour per revolution. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'll get this out now and just take them edges back a little bit there, so I've got something to weld to, and we'll take a look at it just before we set up for welding. So back in a moment. I'll give the edges here a quick dress on the finisher. That's took it down to give me a nice edge to get a nice weld on there. I've done a little bit of weld prep there. Just put a slight chamfer on the inside of both bits of that, and a little bit of a chamfer on there. So I've got a V to work with for the welding. That on the thing goes, get the right way around, goes flush with the bottom there. That's right. So I'll clamp that up in the vise as it sits there, making sure that that's nice and flush. And then I'll get a couple of tacks on it before I fully weld it. So, make sure they're flat. Hammer. Not quite sitting in the vice square, but then it's pushed the thing up okay, and that's okay to all intents and purposes. I'll get the welder set up and get it tapped on. Okay, set up for welding. I'll TIG this one. I don't mind TIGging inside welding. I tend to do it outside because of the sparks flying out. Apologies for the noise of the fan of the welder, if that's being picked up, but we shouldn't be too long on tacking this together. Got to have the glasses on as well. I've got a cheetah lens in my mask, but it isn't strong enough these days. I used to be able to see wonderful till I was about 45, and that was it then. Downhill from there on. If there's anyone welding knows, one thing you do need is good eyesight. Right, where are we? So that'll do. Tacked on. So I'll let it cool down now, and then
sort out getting the grub screw drilled into it. I'm going to have some tea now while that cools, so catch up with you in a while, possibly next video. Actually, I'll call this one quits at that, and let me sit down so I'm in the camera, and I'll pick it up where I do the grub screw for that one, and start looking at the next tool holder, or the next adapter for the tool cutter grinder. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Please click the like button. I keep forgetting about that one if you like it, and leave some comments and discussions and constructive criticism, whatever you want, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.